technologically impaired running this podcast. Hello,
I mean,
good
I am
evening.
technologically challenged, so.
We have challenges. We had technological difficulties, but welcome to another episode of Gossip. Because is it really gossip or is it sharing information? Is that what it is? Because I feel like it's sharing useful information. I think when we talk about these things, it really matters. But before we begin, I'd like to give you all my favorite disclaimer. This live may discuss trauma, including all types of abuse. Viewers and listeners may find themselves distressed. If this live stream causes you distress, please cease or stop listening until you can listen again. You can always reach out to your trusted folks and qualified mental health providers to receive support as well. Thank you, everybody. Um, I just hope that you are prepared for what we're going to talk about today. I really do. Hi, Barbie. How you doing?
I'm
Besides
good. How are you?
technologically challenged.
I know. This was insane. I better have it figured out by a certain time.
The third time's the charm.
Yeah.
You just got to figure it out. The third time, it'll be all right, right? Like, it'll be good.
Technology is so hard, though. I mean, I love it once I know how to use it, but it's so hard. It's so hard for me to figure out how to use it at first.
Yeah, it's very different.
It is. So I feel like I'm technology challenged, but I do have to say that Amish kids these days, some of my cousins, they're not like
But
they're actually Amish. But I swear some of them are better at technology than I am.
but I went to a conference since the last time we met, 2 weeks ago. I went to a conference in Holmes County, Ohio, where I had a practicing Amish woman tell me she watched my video on YouTube and she just thought if she could ever meet me, she would she would give me a hug. And she did actually. She gave me a great big hug.
Nice.
I'm
Good.
just saying, for all the people who think Amish people don't use technology, and for all the people who wonder what the purpose is of these videos, I did say something about how Amish women typically haven't had a voice. And I would actually like to dedicate this episode to the Amish women in Holmes County, Ohio, because what they did was astounding, groundbreaking, and very different. Because in 2021, when Jasper and I went to an Amish abuse awareness meeting and we got together, a group of folks, we went together. That was a vastly different, very different type of meeting. This one was a community gathering on like harm prevention, but they had actual, um, for example, a they had a prosecutor who was present and speaking, and the assistant prosecutor, like the ADA, or I forget what they're called in Ohio for sure, so I don't want to name them,
Yeah.
but they were the attorneys who prosecute on behalf of the state in Ohio, and then their
Yeah.
assistant, and then there were victim advocates present. There were people from Homeland Security present, and they were talking about some of the harm that happens. And one of the things I was most proud of is these women got a whole bunch of Amish men to sit and listen to people talk about how essaying your wife is a crime. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They did this.
That's amazing that they
They did this.
Amish men involved.
Yeah. So I said to this woman who gave me the hug, I said to her, I said, you know, for far too long, Amish women haven't had a voice or autonomy. And I see a lot of change, and I'm really glad to see that. And she said, well, we are making some changes here. We are making the change. We're doing this. So just so you know,
Yeah.
that's some tea, isn't it? Oh, and don't get me
Some
started.
progress.
There was an Amish couple that was there at this meeting. Mind you, there was a total of probably approximately 250 to 300 people at this meeting, and there was a couple there when they were answering the question, because they answered questions at the end, and when they were answering the question about marital rape, they this couple starts whispering furiously, and then they get up and walk out, all the while whispering furiously, and I just want to know why.
Oh my god. Like, yeah.
I just
So I want to know what they were saying. Like, were they arguing with each other, or were they saying, no, the people that are saying marital rape is a thing are wrong?
Yeah,
What
I
do you
want
think?
to know. I need to know more than that. I just and then there was the guy. I had some of my books there, and all my books sold that I took there. That was pretty cool. I was surprised, but anyway, so there was a guy that had like an Amish guy who had like gotten the book, looked at it, put it back, and he says some people just go too far. So I'm just letting y'all know
Oh
I'm the
my
one who
god.
goes too far.
Yeah. Okay. So were most of the people in attendance Amish or non-Amish?
I would say most were Amish.
But there were some non-Amish people.
Hmm. All the speakers
Okay.
were not Amish.
Some of them born Amish?
The speakers, not necessarily. They were like people, like a detective also spoke.
Oh yeah,
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 they put out
yeah.
legal information. There was a lot of things that I really did agree with. One of them, oh, and this one, I want to hear a standing ovation for these women because they got a bunch of Amish men and other Amish women to sit in this meeting and listen to people saying one of the big things you can do to prevent crimes of a sexual nature against children is teaching your children appropriate body parts.
Well, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. So, anyways, on to the next thing. Or do you have more questions?
Uh, I just want to talk a little bit about the guy that said some people are just too far gone. Uh, so
Um,
yeah, I think we should let people know that that's a favorite phrase among our people is when people are like have left our communities and there's like they're just not gonna return. They're very worldly. It is our favorite to say they're just too far gone.
it's in God's hands now. You know, it's the
Yeah.
Lord's will. Sister
Then
Hasebilla.
the other thing we like to say is some people's hearts just can't be softened, right?
And some people just don't forgive people, and that's really what the problem is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't talk about it now, but that just reminded me of something. It's actually saying that um the Barnabas people in my life, there's still some of them that are saying, just forgive that two horrendous crimes. Like, that is very deeply rooted.
Yeah. Well, if I wasn't so bitter, Barbie, if I wasn't so
Yeah.
bitter, I would probably sound like a true Amish person.
So, um, some people do like their favorite criticism of you is that you are too bitter, and which is essentially tone pleasing.
It's
So, if they have a problem with the tone that we speak in, how about we just do they want us to say, I don't know, some horrendous crime in a really happy voice? Would that be acceptable, appropriate? Like we could say, "Oh my God, I was I was human trafficked in my Amish community." Like, do they want us to say that in upbeat voice? And the bishops, no one in our community did anything. Just say, "Yes, I was human trafficked in my community." Like, that's not a happy thing to say, so I don't know why people would want us to say that in a happy voice.
I don't think they want to hear us, Barbie. Honestly, like what I think of when people call me bitter. I think it's really funny because to me, the fact that you're calling me bitter means you're disturbed by what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It says more about you than it does about me. I know who I am. I know why I do what I
Well, it
do.
probably contradicts what they want to hear. So, but don't you sometimes just wish people would be like instead of blaming it on your tone, how about they say, I don't like, because the real truth is that they just don't want to hear you talk, especially about certain things. So I know this would be evil, but why don't they just say, yeah, I don't want to hear what you have to say. It's not the tone, it's the message. I don't want to hear the message. Like, just be honest for a little bit.
Okay, but that would require a level of emotional intelligence that I'm not sure everybody has that listens to these videos. But I
Yeah.
did find it interesting that an Amish woman in Ohio watched a video of mine and she just wanted to give me a hug. Like, I think that did something to me inside.
Yeah, that must have been healing.
Just what we do matters.
Yeah.
And regardless of everybody who thinks I'm just bitter and whatever else baloney that they come up with, I'm glad. I'm glad that they have the privilege to go through life looking at the world with such rose-colored glasses that they can't see it, that they can't begin to understand what it's like to survive things that no child was meant to survive, to become an adult in a world that is largely unfriendly to people who have had massive amounts of trauma. I'm glad that you have that privilege. It must be nice. I hope you enjoy it. Please don't
Yeah.
squander it. Oh, and in Barbie's words, I love, I love just falling off the pedestal of you want to finish it?
so so um okay, you should give me an example of when people do it for you. But
Oh,
I'll give you an example of me first. So
okay.
what I was basically the phrase I was saying is I just love watching people watch me fall off What did I say?
The
Follow.
You love watching people. So Barbie and I were having a conversation, and Barbie said, "I just love falling from the pedestal they put us on."
Oh
Because like
yeah,
the Amish woman pedestal is so
yeah.
real.
So you can literally see it in their face when you're falling from the pedestal that they put us on. When we meet people, or I don't tell people that I was Amish right away, but
Hmm.
eventually, you talk about your life, and that's such a huge part of your life, and then you're like, oh yeah, I was Amish, and then not always, but some people will just start being like, "Oh my god, I love the butter. They're so good at barn raising. Like they're just so amazing. I just love my Amish neighbors. They all help each other out. We have something to learn from them." And then I'm just like, "Okay, yeah, maybe." And then so like I tell them about the trauma that I face in my Amish community, and you just see their face drop, and that's me like falling off the pedestal. I didn't fit their mold of the amazing Amish person. So, anyway, I just love seeing their
Oh,
faces.
I have a very recent one. It was so golden. I have this
Oops.
neighbor. I might even send him this episode, to be honest. I have this neighbor. I'm gonna give you a shout out, and I'm not gonna say your name. I don't want people to find you. Okay, I don't want people to say anything untowards towards you because I think this neighbor is pretty great in many ways. But in the same token, we were having a conversation um, because he also works at a place that I go to sometimes. So I was at this place, and there was a work colleague there with my neighbor. Now, I had went to Ohio recently, and I said I could feel the oppression as I got off the airplane. It was just something that weighed on my shoulders. And my neighbor just laughed with me and was like, "Yeah, I bet you could." And so then we started talking. One thing led to another, and I ended up showing my neighbor. I finally broke the cherry. I broke his cherry because I was like, "Oh, here's the picture, the one picture I have of me when I was still in the church." So I show him this picture, and him and his coworker are both. It was a guy. Just so you know, it was a guy. Him and his coworker are both just like, "Were you like Amish or something?" Yes, yes, I was. This is, I've known him for so anyways. Anyways. So his coworker turns out comes from Ohio. And when I said that about the feeling the oppression, he was like, "It's so different than here. It's not like here. Like this is oh yeah, you feel it's so different. It's such a different culture, all of the things."
Wait, what is a
And
different culture? The Ohio Amish?
where I live in Colorado is an entirely different culture. Like
Yeah.
it's just different. Colorado itself is different. Even laws here are different. But anyways, uh, we ended up with one of them, my dear neighbor, may have mentioned seeing a barn racing and a buggy driving on social media because yes, yes, of
Oh, that
course. I may have given them like a 10-minute TED talk on what Amish are. And you could see in the beginning the stars were in their eyes. The
you
rose-colored
can see the
glasses were
curtain drop.
on. And let me tell you what made the rose-colored glasses come off.
What?
So I said, so you really appreciate the hard work and the barn raisings and the moving of the building. I said, but you could do that too. Where your group of friends, go get together a group of friends. You're capable of doing that too, aren't you? Why don't you do it if you admire it so much? And he just
Yeah,
looked at me and he's like, you're actually kind of right there. And then, and then, then he said something else, and I was like, oh, and what do you think the women are doing while they're doing the barn raisings? I said, I won't speak as to the men, but what do you think the women are doing? And he was like, what? And I was like, predictably, of course they're making food. And some of these women get up at 3 a.m. to start cooking this food. And now ask me how much the women get paid for making the food.
absolutely zero. Absolutely zero.
And then he was like, wait, they don't get. You're
Yeah,
welcome. You're welcome. I said, I think there's a word for that. What
yeah,
is it
they
called?
don't get paid.
Refresh my memory.
Uh, I'm not sure what you're referring to.
My neighbor said it starts with a S.
Yeah, can we say that here?
I don't really want to say it, but it did make me kind of chuckle. Like, oh, those stars and rose-colored glasses disappeared real quick. It only took 10
Real
minutes. Real quick.
How long have you known this neighbor though?
Oh, probably like 2 years.
And so, did the neighbor know that you were Amish before?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope. Sure
oh,
didn't.
okay.
But that's speaking to your point. It's a classic example of what you were just talking about. And you even gave one of the things, the barn raisings,
Yeah.
yeah. I loved that was a pedestal I just loved falling off of. It was so good.
I know, when you see the rose-colored glasses come off, it's
It's
so funny. But then the other thing is, some of some of these people will refuse to take the rose. Like they just want to keep the rose-colored glasses on. They don't want to take them off at all. They refuse to even.
well,
What?
that's why they come in with the ad hominem attacks because when they are refusing to take off their rose-colored glasses, they have to have some kind of moral superiority
Oh
justification
yeah,
to
that's when they say.
maintain. Yep.
That's when they're like, "Oh, you sound so bitter."
Uh-huh. Or any of the other things that they say rather than hearing the message. It's
Yeah. Yep.
and also to the people who called me an AI on the internet, I think that is hilarious. I love it. Please give me more original content to laugh about.
An AI, please. Like, that's crazy, actually.
Yes. Yes. And you know what else, Barbie? I
But
always think it's fascinating to just think about how people respond. And then part of it is, what do they want from us?
yeah, I think it depends on their like preconceived notions and biases. Like some of them are actually willing to be educated, and others absolutely not. They just want us to confirm their biases.
Unfortunately. Okay. Probably. So, with that being said, do you have? So we were watching some videos about Amish people.
Yeah,
I
some TikTok videos.
I have to give a shout out to Tiny Sparks because Tiny Sparks made a TikTok video where uh, she said Amish can be incredibly toxic. I think that to a commenter who said we should thank the Amish. I want to point out that we're not saying that Amish people are bad. We're not saying that Amish people are good. We're saying that Amish are people. I am saying that Amish are people. Okay? And when you start thinking of a group of people as all bad or all good, what you're doing is harming the people. They are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think the award I would give for the most disgusting video is the one about the butter churner from a medical personnel. And with that being said, you don't need to go look it up, but what you do need to know is that butter churners are not made for your orifices. And if you don't know what an orifice is, I'd invite you to go find a Merriam-Webster dictionary and just look up orifice. It's spelled O-R-I.
I don't even know what
If
that
I
means.
Fice. You don't even know what that means.
No, I'm looking it up.
Oh my. Oops. 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 So I'm just saying as a warning, like you should not put things in your orifices that are not meant to go in your orifices. Thank you. Please do not do that. You're welcome.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. The video was disgusting.
And that's what I'm saying. It was disgusting. Like, no.
Oh, and the other thing that video reminded me of, okay, in my Amish community, the butter, I don't know what they're called, but the things where you make butter in, they
Churners.
aren't those things from the 1800s where you go up and down with your arms, like you crank it in a circle. So, have you noticed that people out here, when they think of Amish butter churning, they think of the 1800s?
Hold
But I
on.
don't have that style. I've never seen that style churner. I just know the ones that go in in a circle.
Keep talking, Barbie. I got you somewhere. I got you, Barbie. I got you. I just want everybody to know.
Oh. Yeah, so ours were even a little bit more fancy.
Well, this is a tiny one. I have a tiny butter
Okay.
churner, okay? And it's kind of been sitting on top of the fridge for a while because I haven't used it in a while because it literally is just a whatever. But the point is that even when I was churning butter, people have this idea that we're churning butter with like a wooden butter churn that stands on the floor and you have this dasher that goes this pole that goes up and down. That wasn't it. We churned butter with a very
Yes,
similar to this, and
exactly.
it was a gallon container, a little
Very
fancier,
similar.
but very similar. So you can churn butter too. If you really want to churn butter, all you got to do is use heavy whipping cream and churn butter. And in fact, if you want to be really quick about it, put it in your KitchenAid mixer and it'll be done in no time. And you don't have to use any elbow grease. It won't come salted with your tears, but it will be done shortly.
I think you should tell them about the not real butter that some Amish sell. Like,
Well, I mean, you know, when I talk about Amish are people, and in every group of people, you have people that commit crimes. You also have people that do things that may be slightly unethical
dishonest.
or,
Yeah.
or misleading. You know, if you take butter for that you buy at the store and you put some coloring in it and then you repackage it in like paper, wrap it up in paper and call it Amish butter, you can sell it for a great profit. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I've actually seen like um a little bit from me, not in my area, but I was in a store a while ago and it said Amish made popcorn, and I was just like, yeah, I wonder, did they just slap that on there, for the benefit of sales?
Oh my God. You know what else people do? People do this
What?
thing where they put Amish style. Because being
Oh,
Amish, when I say being Amish is not just a religion and a culture and a way of life, it's also ethnocentric and it is a business and a brand, the branding.
yeah,
So they say Amish style. You can go to Amish style restaurants in Ohio. And I will tell you,
yeah.
Barbie, let me tell you about these unholy mashed potatoes.
Oh, oh no, no.
Yes, they
Tell
were
me.
they were Amish style mashed potatoes. I had to take my child because my child grew up with my cooking. So we
Yeah,
went there. We went there with friends. I got to do lots of fun stuff. Okay. But, anyways, these mashed potatoes, my child told me they're better than the worst mashed potatoes they've ever had. But also, they're not that great. And here's okay.
that's not very good. Not very good.
They did this thing where when they dished up the mashed potatoes, they browned the butter. You know how when special occasions, like sometimes you would brown the butter and you make your little pile of
Yeah.
your hill of mashed potatoes and you make little dashes with the spoon and then you pour your
Yes.
brown butter
Yep.
over it. Yeah, well they did the brown butter part. It was misleading. They repackaged it inappropriate.
So, how do you think the mashed potatoes were made? With
Um,
real?
they were probably made with real potatoes. I'll give them props for that. I felt like they were kind of bland, quite frankly.
Okay.
I mean, you know, we we tend to like season our food, and we also tend to make very rich mashed potatoes. You know what I
Yeah, we do make rich mashed potatoes.
and
Uh, on on a similar note, um, people should remember that for the holiday season, it should be illegal to take box stuffing or box potatoes to any holiday functions.
also for the record, if you, I mean, mashed potatoes are fake potatoes. They're pretending to be potatoes. They're not even potatoes. I'm sorry, the box potatoes, the box mashed
Yeah,
potatoes.
yeah.
Like they're not even. I don't. They taste like cardboard. They're not good. Thank you. No.
I remember the first time I heard about box mashed potatoes. I was shocked, and the first time I had them, yeah, I thought they're absolutely disgusting, and I still do.
I don't even know how people can eat them. Quite frankly,
Me neither.
um, I guess it's in our roots. After all, though, we make a lot of potatoes.
Yeah,
At
we
least we
do.
did, because we made a lot of potatoes. So yeah. Anyways, do you, do you uh do you want to talk about my coworkers?
Oh yeah, let's hear that. Let's hear it.
Let me tell you. Okay, I've worked with these people for 11 years,
Okay.
pretty much. The ones that I'm talking about. But they cracked me up today because, are you ready for this? I made cinnamon rolls for James because,
Okay.
Dear James, we're giving you a shout out. This poor man, he grew up with his Amish dad's cooking. Imagine how he feels when people tell him about the good Amish food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably like, what?
So he's been jonesing for cinnamon rolls, and I haven't had time to make them. And he actually went and bought some from a bakery, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I cannot." So I made cinnamon rolls finally, and I brought the cinnamon rolls into work, and I shared them with my coworkers because yeah, I know they know. Anyways, so I told him that those cinnamon rolls he bought are inedible because they're just sugar and no other flavor.
Yeah.
And then and then he it was so cute. He ate like he was waiting. He was literally sitting at the table waiting for my cinnamon rolls to be done so he could eat his cinnamon roll. And then he was like, "Wait, like the bakery called, they want your recipe." And then he said that's going to be a lot of work because apparently I said, "You know what? Your plate," he said, to make all those cinnamon rolls every morning. And I said, "You know what? I guess you best get to work at that."
I mean, they are a lot of work.
But no, I took him to work, and my coworkers decided that we all wouldn't have to work these jobs if they came and worked for me, and we had a gossip reality TV show because they've heard enough Amish gossip to know that it's just like we could we this is why I started saying we make our own entertainment as Amish people because
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
but they were like, "See," and one of them said, "I'll make the coffee and I'll bring the cinnamon rolls, and then you just have this whole Amish gossip show." And I was like, "Y'all are wild over here. This is wild." And then the other one said, the one who said, "I'll bring the cinnamon rolls," she said, "Oh, I'll also bring donuts. I can bring donuts for you, the 15-hour donuts."
Yeah. Remember when someone offered you like $12 or maybe even 20 for a dozen of donuts, and that wasn't even like close. That wasn't close to
Not
enough.
even. Not even close. And I was like, "No, like that is an insult. No."
But it's crazy to think that we did this stuff in the office for free. Like all these hours and hours of labor, and out here we're like 20 doesn't even close to cover it. And it doesn't.
You know what changed?
What?
I started to value my own labor.
Yeah. Yeah. We also don't really have a choice in when we're women in an Amish community.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. So, with that being said, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Uh, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, this has been enlightening. I feel like
I do
sometimes,
have one more thing. Do you ever find Amish gossip boring?
sometimes I just feel like, oh, I've heard that already.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Like I don't want to talk about it no more.
Yeah. But I think gossip out here is a little bit more boring.
You think?
Yeah, depending what it is.
Well, rumor has it that I'm supposed to start taking a Mennonite class to learn how to be more passive aggressive instead of so
Uh,
direct.
but yeah, I would like to be in that class too, cause I love being passive aggressive.
you you love being passive aggressive. Well,
Yeah,
occasionally I can be a small amount of passive aggressive, but I think there's a certain norm for passive aggressiveness that I expect in so many ways, but there's other ways that passive aggressiveness is so, I don't know. I love sarcasm. That's what I love.
yeah, yeah.
I love trauma humor.
I don't, I don't think I like trauma humor quite as much. Maybe it's because I haven't been quite as traumatized.
Why are we measuring trauma? Girl, that's not the one. Do you have any parting thoughts about this week before we announce
Uh,
our next?
uh no, I don't think so.
I almost feel like we should sing a song like at the singing we had to sing before we
Oh,
left. You know,
oh, oh.
E soggy good night.
We used to sing that every Friday night, did you?
And
But,
because I went to 5 schools in 3 different
yeah,
settlements, they had different practices. In one
yeah.
settlement, I don't remember ever singing that song. In the other just 2 settlements, they sang them like every day at the end of the school day. We would sing this song.
Every day?
Isagi guna, Velahim, Velahim.
We just sang it on Fridays and the last day of school. The
Yeah.
people who graduated would have to lead the song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we sang it a lot. We sang it at every singing. Once I went to the singings for
Oh,
we sang it at every singing too. It was the last song. We knew when
we
that
got
song. What?
so I didn't go to singings because I wasn't old enough. But I do remember when we had singings at my house or just from my family members. I'm pretty sure they sing that
Mm-hmm.
like at the end of every singing too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing. And now we can say goodnight. That song is called I Tell You Goodnight in English translation. So it's like Isage good now. Velahim, Velahim. That translates to I tell you good night. Let's go home. Let's go home.
I just know the first line.
To Irdishirpa, Velahim, Velahim. Whatever, it's cool. I'm gonna make our closing statement and I'm gonna tell everybody thank you for listening. Thank you, Barbie, for this conversation. I love our conversations. I think we talk about some of the best things ever. It's amazing. And I'm very grateful for you. I want to thank our Patreon subscribers, and I want to thank the Misfit Amish and all the board members over there and everybody else involved with that. And thank you, everybody, for listening, subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. As always, until we see you again in 2 weeks, we will reconvene. Is it going to be your house or my house, Barbie?
It's gonna be our nice virtual house.
Oh, I love that. It's perfect. We will be meeting in a virtual house. Y'all have a good night. See
Good
y'all.
night.